I got nothing.
You were just telling your friends there on the Facebook. That,
we're talking on the Facebook.
Doing some tax talk.
Yep, people do it, taking care of their taxes and all that stuff. So the wind kind of built through the course of the day.
Yep, totally. And we'll do that again tomorrow. Of course, that's kind of what we're doing here for the weekend. I'm going to start with a little bit of a review during the week.
Man.
This is not pretty stuff here. And if you'll remember, we did have a tornado on Wednesday in Katy. This is not Katy. This is Slidell, Louisiana. They had an EF2 tornado. This is 120-mile-an-hour winds that were estimated. This tornado stayed on the ground for over 9 miles. And so that is definitely a significant number to see something on the ground for that long. And it also it was one of 9 tornadoes that was in the state on Wednesday. So that storm system was about 2 a.m. for us, and then it ended up over in Louisiana at about 10 a.m. Again, of course, that's gone now. High pressure has kind of replaced all that stormy weather for several days and has really left us with some very pleasant conditions. But it's opened us up for those south winds. And so these lows that we saw this morning in the 50s, we're going to be replacing that with 60s when we get to tomorrow morning because, again, that influence from the Gulf of Mexico. Let's talk about temperatures right now. We're just about 70 degrees, give or take a little bit. We've got 72 in the Galleria area, 71 in downtown Houston, 70 up in the Woodlands. And weather where you live, let's get down to the coast for our overnight low temperatures. So tomorrow morning, as I mentioned, in the 60s for the majority of us. That includes if you're down at Jamaica Beach at 68 degrees, a little further inland there in the League City area, about 65. Now, high temperatures for tomorrow, warmer than we did today. Fort Bend County, here's some of the places that your temperatures you can expect. We're going to be seeing Richmond at about 84 degrees, Kendleton at 82. A little bit warmer as we head back to the north and west. Katy going to be about 86 for that high temperature tomorrow. And I do just want to point this out as quite of a forecast that I'm going to be talking about. Once we get into Monday, though, there are going to be some severe storms to our north and in Texas, but we won't be seeing those storm system impacting us down in southeast Texas. So I just kind of want to note that because, again, sometimes when you're hearing about some severe storms across the state, you kind of think maybe that ought to include us, but in this case it will be staying to the north, so I don't expect to be seeing those. Now, as far as the allergens go, we've switched our pattern a little bit. We've had that oak pollen for a while that's really been bothering us. We've increased now to the cedar pollen. That's what's going to be the highest, although the weed in the grass is also looking in the heavy levels as well. Now, rain expected over the next 5 days. There's going to be some here for us in southeast Texas, but we're going to break that down. Not today, not for the next couple of days. Isolated perhaps on Tuesday, but when we get into Wednesday and for the rest of the week is when our rain chances are going to kind of be moving through. But muggy is something that will definitely be returning to the forecast. So really a pleasant evening tonight with that slightly drier air still in place. So tomorrow morning also looking fairly pleasant. But when we get to the afternoon, much like what we did today, the winds will pick up. Partly cloudy skies still. I don't think we're to the mostly cloudy part yet until we get into Monday, but the humidity beginning to increase. It's going to take a day or so before I think it's muggy, but that certainly is returning to the forecast, especially once our temperatures get up around 86 to 87 degrees. And at the moment, it does look like a weak front will be coming at the end of the week. That will bring those rain chances back up a little bit higher and also bring those temperatures back down to around 80 degrees.